Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. It's late here today. It's actually tomorrow now because it's August 16th now. It's late here. What time is it? It's actually 1 o'clock in the morning. But I got a lot of downloads today. It's been coming in really quickly for me, and I just put out another video on some of the scientific information that's coming through that's syncing with everything else I've been getting. And then now I just want to bring you up to date with what I was getting today from my read, and if I have time I'll pull some cards for you really quickly. As I said in the video I just posted, I was talking about today and the energy today of 15, which is the devil energy, and then the day added up to 34, which is the 8 of Wands. So, you know, what are those codependencies that you need to let go of? When the devil's coming up, there's always those issues coming up. And then of course with the 8 of Wands, it's very quick, passionate communications, expressing your feelings, arrows of love, travel, but it's very physical, quick physical things, back and forth. So first I was getting all during my read this morning, it was connecting to all the stuff that I had just researched, and everything is now giving me not only just messages about the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, but connecting to this other information I just received. So the Lotus was coming up right away this morning, related to the plasma and the water energy, or the what's it called? Icosahedron. So, and that comes up in a minute also. So I was getting the Lotus related to the new Golden Gate and the new energy that's being downloaded to us. It's this fire water type energy instead of just the plasma. It's plasma and water. It's like well, and definitely a portal opened up. So I was getting today that it was partially open, and that there would be a portal opening from the solstice of the 21st to about the 27th at the full moon, which is very important, because I was going through the portal last night for sure. And with all the downloads I got today, it's stuff like I've never experienced before. It was like 4 hours of just constant research and downloads. Like I couldn't stop. As soon as I was going to stop, it would guide me to something else that I go look up again. So it was a lot. As you can see, I'm still up trying to get this out. And it's bringing up Sirius B again, that it's the dwarf planet. Explaining that the process of how Sirius B got to be a dwarf planet is the same process that the twins are going through. Then Judgment, so Judgment came up, and the Judgment card was being compared to the icosahedron. Okay, because hedron is about face, you know, it's how many sides the shape has, but it has to do with the face. And I was getting so, and Judgment is number 20, like the 20 faces of this shape, okay, the icosahedron. So I was guided to break it down. And 12-step programs were coming up when I was researching today as well. So in breaking down the icosahedron, I was getting literally icosa, cosa being like a safe haven. Okay, so you can see how that relates to a 12-step program. But it was also relating to a 12-step sex program for the abused. So not the ones who are addicted to sex, but the partners of those people. So it's being compared to a program for these people, but like a safe haven. So it's like, I am the face of a safe haven. So you twins are like a safe place for people to go who have been through these experiences. And I was also getting for the dodecahedron is like do 10 faces. And I was getting specifically, and this one's really important, I know I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but the dodecahedron is like the quantum key. And then pi was coming up again. And this 10 of the do 10 faces, I was being shown that's related to how the 0.31415 ... of the pi that found on this cave wall that I was talking about got to the 3.142 basically, in summary. So something about the do the 10 faces of the dodecahedron. There's like, it's related to the quantum key and pi. This is why I'm getting all these like random downloads, because they're being pieced together. Even though I'm not educated in this way, it's showing me all the pieces to put together. And again, I'm seeing the Shokugure as the 7 with the, so it's the divine feminine of the circles, and the 7 as the divine masculine. So your abilities may be all of a sudden supercharged. I was also showing by the tango position, you know how like the start positions the hands like this as holding the top of the energy rods from the crown, the one that goes down to here. The tango position's holding those two, like balancing them. And you can look at the video I just posted about that on how to make sure your third eye is connected properly. That was very important. I'm also for a lot of you, I was just being guided that this is the final stretch to your lover. You're coming into alignment with the central sun at this crescent moon. I was being shown exposure to the numbers 5 and 10, that the family jewels are under lock and key. So there's maybe certain pieces of this pie, this information, that are held back for a reason. Also, children were coming up as affecting the love life. There may be certain connections that were broken for you that need to complete, but everything is divinely guided, so they'll get reconnected when they're supposed to. Like maybe me guiding you to these videos to watch on how to connect to your higher self better, to make sure you are connected fully. And again, I was getting pi, I was getting the eclipses. The eclipse might have brought in these corrections. The 3 beams is the flower of life, but there are actually 4 beams, because you have the beam that goes across from ear to ear. And again, I'm being shown pi as the inner alignment. Okay. So I was shown that the energy rods that go from your pineal to your higher self, that Melchizedek was explaining in his video, if you make the infinity symbols around each energy beam, it's the flower of life within your head, okay, within this big circle of energy that's around your head. And also the key of the egg, or the Ankh, relating to the energy egg that's around us all. And the egg, right, the life, the quantum. All of these are related, okay. I was also being shown important fruits, certain things, cranberries and roses, and I'd mentioned apples already before, and also I mentioned circuitry that I was trying to get from a dog or a rat, but now I'm getting pig ears as well, or donkey ears. I was trying to figure out what the connection was, and I was being shown the right ear. And first I was thinking, is it because they're sensitive? I'm like, no, when you pull on your ear, it's actually not sensitive. So something about the nervous system in the ear. These are all natural remedies, like breast milk and pears. Or it might be something that looks like a pear. Maybe a passion fruit. And dragonfly wings were coming up as well. So reunions were coming in for the Divine Feminines, Justice Exposed. There's healthy offers going on of creativity and maybe other sacral chakra things, so someone might be offered to go out on a date or just to connect. Also, Divine Masculines may be offering their karmics a healthy offer to end something. I was getting health is very important for the Divine Feminine. Obviously, I'm staying up too much. I need to go to bed. Light tubes need to be aligned. The royal details of the gold and silver gates. The bird diving into the cup. With the Eucharist is the fleur-de-lis, the flower of life. Fleur-de-lis is flower of life. The royal purple gets you over the loss. Dropping the facade, or the two faces in the infinity, because now I'm being shown that the infinity sides are faces like the faces of the shapes. So dropping the facade, or the face, right? The false mask, the two faces in the infinity. The face, the facade, face, aid. Holding the golden egg. So the lovers are coming up for the Divine Feminines. Definitely connections, whether it's in the physical or the 5D, there's definitely strong connections going on. And I was being shown 2 pies again. So there's literally physical pies to make with these different foods that I'm bringing up, but also the 2 pies. So if pie is your union within of the Divine Masculine and Feminine, there's 2 pies, one for the feminine, one for the masculine. So 2 pies plus juicing to bridge to the finish line. So it was basically accentuating health and doing these kind of things to help your health, to help get across the finish line. Yeah. And I was getting specifically the green, blue, and purple colors. And again, fluorite, because fluorite came up. I was researching that yesterday. Or was that today? I can't even remember. But I was, yeah, it was yesterday, because I ended up massaging my feet with a fluorite stone just because it felt good, because it was smooth, you know. It was kind of like massaging it out. And I had huge meditation last night before I went to bed. I didn't go to sleep till 4:41. So, and it was a huge, strong connection. So I don't know if it's any of that's attributed to the fluorite, but I've always connected with the fluorite since the beginning of my journey, so that may be one of the keys as well. I was being guided to tell the Divine Feminine that you're a golden gatekeeper. So just to be alert that you may be getting lots of information that you have no background in, to save that information to piece it together. And then you may be guided to certain people in your world who may be able to help you piece that together. Friends, relatives, whatever. Even your children may be giving you keys that you need to write down or pay attention to. Grounding and integrating, but needing more tools. So the Divine Masculine may be feeling like they need more tools to piece what they're getting together, because they're starting to understand. And I was getting literally the masked man, or Batman, which is the Bat Cave, the Divine Masculine. The King of Pentacles was coming up as opening their heart to take a leap of faith, has been projecting his inner child, or protecting his inner child, could be projecting as well, protecting from complete exposure while secretly passing codes to the Divine Feminine, even about these things like fruit and things that are good to eat. And right as I wrote that, my hearing altered. It was like someone turned a speaker off. And then all of a sudden the right tip of my ear hurt. So then I was pinching it for a moment. And then I was guided again to read the Emerald Tablets. Reflect and meditate. The Page of Wands was coming up as your Divine Masculine, so his inner child, who's excited right now, could be getting a lot of these messages too, and they could be really getting excited about this stuff because they're passionate about it. The truth, getting information, and then I saw an herb that I needed to look at, to look up, and then I was getting the right ear is the 7th light tube, because that would be like the 7th point. Because if there's 6 points of the first 3, then the right is the positive charge, so that would be the 7th point to the 8th point of the left ear, which is the negative charge. So it was important that the right ear is the 7th point. And it's interesting because I usually hear from the left ear. Any like energetic downloads I get in my left ear. So then I was getting apple root pie. So there may be roots that are important too. I don't know if there's apple tree roots. Also mince pie I brought up too, so I was being reminded of that here. And also Johnny Appleseed, because like I said, the apple seed, the amygdala and the apple seeds is also helpful. And actually, in my juice, you know, when you juice, you put it all in. I don't de-seed my apples; everything goes in there. So now there is full exposure to the galactic center raining on you, which was interesting because the last song on my track last night was Love Rain on Me, which was really intense because I was getting a really strong energetic, like levitational connection. So it was just saying, it was bringing up like what I experienced today, that everything was being dumped on me today. Rainbows, birds, chalices, the number 7, pi, and the ancient Greek word for 7, which is like, looks like an E and then pi and then T and then a small a. And so that was thinking for me personally about something else. But to hold off on some of this stuff, to allow it to piece together. And get your rest. And also I was getting maybe, like you get your general downloads from the left ear, maybe you should be listening for the right ear for messages from your twin. And that your twin may be harvesting your energy now to actually manifest their part of everything. How to proceed. And I was literally getting with Christ light and the Holy Grail. This alchemical process, expressing feelings and knowledge while grounding others. Family coming out to let go of heaven in their eyes, to embrace their psychic abilities, and giving a relationship a chance, forgiving and learning, expressing your love. This is from the perspective of the Divine Feminine. It's basically, you are the Holy Grail. You are the family happiness. Releasing your sovereignty and going within for the sacred marriage. There may be still some karmic attempts, and again, it depends on where you are in your journey, but there are definitely karmic attempts or feeble attempts to entice the Divine Masculine, who offers something healthy and practical. And then I was getting 7 Steps to Heaven, the program for the awakened twin, It was like it was another Jesus joke, okay? 7 Steps to Heaven, the program for awakening twins who have been rejected. Okay, so that was a Jesus joke. He's very funny. To clear your blocks of expressing your feelings when there's sadness and loss and unhappiness by the family, by detaching from emotions as the Empress, but detached from your heart or emotions, but being loving and compassionate. New beginnings came up, romance, and this was another Jesus joke and a little butt communication. The face of the child hiding in the woods. Batman, I was seeing like the Divine Masculine fishing, so there may be some out fishing with their kids during this transition through this portal. The Rainbow Bridge, 4D. This new journey begins at the full moon. And then that's when I was getting the gate is partially open now, but will be fully open from the 21st to the 27th. And then I got Old MacDonald Had a Farm, E-I-E-I-O, which I was getting as another code. The Sturgeon Moon is this next full moon, but it's actually also called the Full Green Corn Moon, which is syncing back to when I said the Children of the Corn. And when I reported the Children of the Corn, it had to do with a sexual abuse download that I was getting. When I was getting all that stuff regarding the Divine Masculines and some of the situations they might have experienced in their life before. One of them was about, the one really serious one was about a woman or a girl who was taken to the cornfields and was killed after having sex. But I was linking this to this at the full moon, the Children of the Corn being the twins, being taken to the cornfields to have sex and disappear to another dimension. Okay? How cool is that? So the twins are the children of the corn. And then I was getting the almanac, the Farmer's Almanac, and I just wrote down what it listed about the Farmer's Almanac: to cut hay from the 1st to the 3rd, the 29th and 30th, sell eggs, so I'm talking about eggs, right? Sell eggs on the 5th, the 23rd, and the 24th, and then fishing, which I just brought up, from the 11th to the 26th. That was from the Farmer's Almanac for August. And then the connection of Mercury and Venus. So look to see if there's any connection, like literal, like a puzzle piece connection between your Venus and Mercury placement and your twins' Mercury and Venus placement, because it may actually fit together just like a puzzle, like alternating. Like Libra, let's say, just as an example, let's say your Venus to Mercury is Leo and Libra, and then your twins is Virgo to Scorpio. You see the pattern there. It's just skipping a sign, but yet they're right next to each other, linking. So it's like a link like this. So you have, this would be Leo, and then this is Virgo, and then this is Libra, or sorry, the next thumb anyway. This one is Libra, and then Scorpio. So you see how there's like it's like linking together. And then also something I have noticed is the Divine Feminine's Mars being the sun sign of the Divine Masculine, and the Divine Masculine's Venus being the sun sign of the Divine Feminine. So see if that pattern works for you at all. So I was also being guided that that the final pull for the Divine Masculine might have to do with jealousy, that they can't fight off it anymore. And also, it was talked about a lot from other people as well, that I was also getting, was about the sexual frustration going on all month of August. And so this might also relate to this jealous magnetic pull. Also is getting some Divine Masculines maybe confessing their feelings to their children at this time. Also that they, at the full moon, they will be bored, disconnected, and detached emotionally. Getting a firm grip or handle on the truth and articulating their lack of energy due to kids, But basically, the Divine Masculine is a man of passion overall. And then I was just getting a funny download from Samantha from Sex and the City, when she says her next door neighbor's like sex on a stick. That was pretty funny. Phoenix rising out of the fire, out of the final judgment to destiny with the divine sacred decad. Sacred 7-step program to lovers. No face, no name, which actually syncs to the song that I just wrote, Sophia, Christo Sophia. Only the high self alchemized into passion, exposed by the sun, but energized by the portal or the wormholes. Okay, so some major information. I don't want to go too long. Whatever I didn't tell you today, I guess I'll just include tomorrow with that update, but I wanted to pull some cards for you before I go tonight. I didn't want to make this a really long video. So I'm going to get, this is for both the Divine Masculine and Feminine, like I've been doing. The Ascension deck, so this is the Ascension deck. Sorry it's so dark. Just the quality of this computer isn't very good. It's an older computer. Alright, so for the organic, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Twin Flames, what is the advice? What is the advice? Okay, Lady Nada. And this is number 45. The bottom of the deck is Saint Germain, and I just brought up Saint Germain. If not in this video, it was the one I just taped. Number 34, which was the energy of the 15th, which is the Eight of Wands. The affirmation is, I believe in my ability to create miracles. So there's some miracles coming up. Lady Nada is number 45. Lady Nada is the twin flame of Jesus' higher self, Sananda. She is the master of the 7th ray of ritual and magic. So here we have 7 again. Ceremonies that call in mighty forces are important, so you are reminded to bring people together to raise great light. A priestess in the temple of love in Atlantis, Lady Nada is bringing back ancient healing methods, and I was just talking about Atlantis, okay, in my last video. Helping the development of intuition, telepathy, and wisdom, and acting for justice. And justice came up. Your guidance is to trust your spiritual and psychic abilities and then use them to help those in need. And the affirmation is, I accept and practice my healing, spiritual, and psychic gifts. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. 45 is the 9. It's also the 5 of Cups, which is the partial loss and not being able to let go of something to appreciate what you have or what's in front of you. It could also be letting go of all those feelings of loss. It's a 9 of universal selflessness and compassion, service to others. I always call 9 the nursing number. And it's the 5 of excitement on the inside, of being free on the inside, and then 4, very different on the outside, of looking like you're very responsible and dependable, but you're actually a very different personality on the inside. So that's the energy of Lady Nada. And so this is for the past life deck. For the organic, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Twin Flames, what is the advice? What is the advice for the organic, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Twin Flames? What is the advice? Is this it? Okay. I've got 2. Okay. So karmic relationship is on the bottom of the deck. And then we have traveling and leaving in galactic. So this is galactic. It's all about your connection to the stars. So I'm saying your connection should be really wide open right now. And leaving or travel. Okay. And it's hard to see on the screen, but the leaving or travel is a suitcase on a train track. It actually looks like a pyramid on top, right? It has those energy channels, like the stripes in the suitcase. That's interesting. That's what I'm noticing. And the pyramids. And I'm getting to, just now, the suitcase as the Akashic records, and the pyramid, the paw, the Sphinx. And then the galactic connection to Atlantis and the Sphinx. And the constellations. And you see this, it looks like the Ankh, which I was just talking about, the egg shape, as one of the keys. Oh, funny. And this is like pi too. Okay. But it's galactic and leaving your travel. So you're gonna, it's traveling back, traveling up, traveling out, everywhere. Or maybe pack a suitcase, get ready to leave. Like, when you're getting ready to have a baby, to pack a suitcase. For a getaway, just in case. Well, that's a nice message. And then we have Journey of Love. Journey of Love. Okay, Journey of Love. What is the advice for the organic, divine masculine, divine feminine, twin flames? What is the advice? We've got the cloak. We got the cloak, but I want to pull one more because I can connect even better. That's number 50. Okay, number 50. We'll read that. Let's see what else is coming up. The organic, divine masculine, divine feminine, twin flames. What is the advice? Okay. And across the waters, how perfect, number 23. And 50 is the 10 of cups, which we also brought up, because that's like the divine pyramid. Okay. Across the waters, and we talked about water being combined with the plasma for the quantum piece that pulls everything together. Okay, so we're going to read number 23 and number 50. Okay. So 23, across the waters, is you're being called across the waters as if crossing a bridge of light from the ocean to a far greater one. These waters are your emotional waters, holding your feelings, your attitudes, your expectations, and your fears and doubts, as well as your hopes and dreams. It can seem like such a lot to navigate. Sometimes our waters feel overcrowded, as if swarms of people were descending into the ocean on a sweltering hot day, hardly finding a space in the water to cool ourselves. We can feel as though there is just no room for faith, trust, peace, and love. There is just too much happening in that water. We yearn for the cool, calm mountain lake, the serene, giving and echoing a gentle dispensation of grace. You're being called across those waters, out from an overcrowded sea into the cool spaciousness of the endless lake. So it's time to let go of some of the mental clutter, some attitudes, some thoughts. Ask for help and bathe yourself in green and gold rays of healing color. And we definitely brought up green and gold today. Just imagine them cascading down around you and through you like a waterfall. It's a bit like you're moving to a new neighborhood in a cleaner and more spacious town. It might be a bit unfamiliar at first, but soon enough you'll enjoy the difference. The oracle brings you a message, and it is your time to think about something in a different light. Soon you'll have a shift in perspective, and the feeling of overwhelmed stress and just too much going on will be replaced with serene trust and peacefulness. Know that beneath even the most chaotic mind is a place of deep, quiet serenity within. Do whatever helps you dive deep into it. Dance, take some rest, meditate, do yoga, write, paint, make love, make music. In that quiet serenity within, you'll be leaving unnecessary chaos behind, and you'll be presented with the gift of a new way forward. And the poem reads, inhaling the soft scent of promised taste, the nectar moist upon my lips, I savor each sip across my tongue, dwelling in the moment's pleasure. Warm and sweet, bathed in tingling thirst, I find myself wanting you, wanting more. Okay, and that's really beautiful. So just remember to stay at 0 point, okay? Trust yourself. And number 50 is the cloak. I'm going to get up a little bit so I get more light. My eyes don't work so well anymore. Okay, so around you there's a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it has served you for a time as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside and find out what you truly feel, what you truly need. To find yourself rather than being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Yet the time is fast approaching when you will no longer require that cloak. You have attained an integration within, a knowledge of self, that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You have learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in and play. The message this oracle brings to you is that you can safely release the forms of security that you once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional that you can enter in relationships with more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need when you need it, without having to withdraw from relationship entirely. It is time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you, whilst actively engaging in deeper relationship. You'll have fun. And the poem simply states, loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and no place to go. So, really beautiful. So, everything really ties together. Like I've been saying, really beautiful union energy all week. So take care. I'm going to bed. Drink your water. Get some rest like I'm not. And eat healthily. Make sure you get out in nature and meditate, okay? Rise and be loved. Sweet dreams, guys. Bye.